All right. Well, yeah, we're talking about our origin extracts. And first of all, my name is Dr. Matthew Kester. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and I'm nationally board certified in both acupuncture and the herbal part as well. And I've also got a background in molecular microbial ecology and whatnot. And I'm lucky enough to be working with Apothékary as their R&D scientist. So technical questions, anything like that, I definitely see them come across my desk. So please reach out. I'm happy to talk more about all of it. But really, why we're here is to talk about something a little bit more fun, and it's our origin extracts. And so, really, what we've done is something sort of new here for Apothecary, and that's to deliver a very refined, very focused approach in a kind of a new way with essentially single herb extracts, but they're done in a very apothecary type of fashion. So they will fit and blend with your ritual in a very, very cool way. And the three that we are introducing first are turmeric, lion's mane, and of course, ashwagandha, because they offer so much potential, both as standalone herbal supplements, but also as complements to your apothecary routine already. So we'll just hop right in here and start talking about why why did we do this from the get go? Uh, Mostly because there was a request. People wanted to have something that they could use to not only offer a focused, specific routine, and ritual, but also something that if they chose to, they could build into their current apothecary ritual as well, and would complement anything else that we have. And so, one of the things that's special about what we do is we really try and honor the whole plant, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But all of our extracts, whether it's the formulas or it's these origin extracts, they're all full spectrum. We try and gather as much of the nuance of the original herb as possible. And then we concentrate it down so you don't have to take as much, which is kind of nice too. And this is great because this allows you, especially with these individual herbs, to really be able to personalize things without making it super duper complex, because honestly, people don't have enough time most of the time to be worrying about that type of complexity. So these will integrate without trouble into our current lineup of wonderful products, but also is something that you can use as a standalone as well. And so this, especially as an herbalist, approaching individual herbs is where everything begins, because you get a chance to really experience the effects of that individual herb by itself, because everybody's physiology, everybody's routine, everybody's overall health picture is different. Sometimes being able to just simply start with one herb at a time is the building block to a more robust regimen. And so what we did is we took some of these superstars like ashwagandha, turmeric, and lion's mane, and we built them so you could fine tune or start in this place and move forward from there in terms of your regimen. And so essentially, you can look at these. Whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump forward. I just realized the jump, forgive me. Let me go back to where we were. I got a little carried away with the change there. All right. All righty. Thank you. Thanks for your patience on that. But basically we're able to start with a very focused approach, whether you're trying to add an adaptogen into the mix, if you're looking for something that's going to help boost up recovery supports, or even in a very cool way approach recovery. We can start here and have a very focused message for your body that these provide. And so, gosh, I can't say enough about how amazing the chemistry of nature really is. I mean, it's obviously something that I love. But one of the reasons why we really work on extracting the full potency of an herb through our dual extraction process is so that we can gather as much of the as many of these different compounds that a plant has, because we know that, and we'll talk about some of the active compounds in like ashwagandha. We know what some of these big players do, but something that's hard to measure scientifically is what all of these other smaller players do. And that's, we know they're important and we want to capture them, even if we can't directly predict scientifically how all this chemistry plays out. Because from a traditional standpoint, we know that it was the whole herb that was used, and it's the whole herb that provides the effect. And so we want to honor that as much as possible in order to really give you the full experience through our extracts. And so we'll start kind of discussing. I guess turmeric is my favorite actually of all of these, but it's a bright yellow spice. It's a root that you can find uh, in many places these days. It's been used for cooking, it's been used medicinally, it's been used in various different rituals for a very long time, especially in Southeast Asia. What's so fantastic about this is turmeric has got to be one of the most studied herbs really out there right now. Um, and it gets its beautiful golden color that you'll see whether you're having a dish with turmeric in there or taking it as a supplement from the curcumin that's in there. And that, by and large, is responsible for a lot of the wonderful effects that you see in terms of helping to balance and support the recovery process in the body. It's wonderful. And from a more of a traditional standpoint, turmeric, because of its nature, kind of offers a cooling and kind of moving idea to the way herbal formulas work. So if you're trying to maybe adjust one of our formulations, say blue burn or something like that, and you want to add an even bigger recovery component to it, turmeric can lock right into that regimen easily. And you know that it's built and formulated to work together. All of these are from the get go, which is a nice place to start. So, with that in mind, please know that all of these extracts are, again, kind of full spectrum. We work really hard to gather all of the nuances and all of the herbal compounds that we can to provide them in this tincture format. So that way you're getting it concentrated, but you're getting as much of that good stuff as is possible. And what's nice about the way we built these is they're simple, right? So you have the herbal extract. We use an organic glycerin base to preserve it, which your body knows what to do with that. It's digestible. It's something that's used and has been used for a very long time to not only preserve, but enhance absorption in many ways, and a little water to help balance that out. And then, of course, all of the good stuff that we put inside also. Um, as we jump forward to kind of when to use this, basically there's a couple different ways you can approach turmeric because it's so useful and so varied in its approach. But it's full of antioxidants, and so it can support your daily wellness that way. It can support a stable and balanced, healthy and inflammatory response. And the way that you would use this is very similar to our other herbal extracts. You'd have one dropper full up to 3 times a day, and you can stack it with our other formulations or another individual origin extract, or you can take it by itself. What's nice is you have a lot of freedom to make it yours and make it work with your ritual. And that's one of the things we really strive to provide. Um, the next one we built was ashwagandha. Wonderful, one of my favorites. And this are not only being beautiful in its look in terms of the way it grows, um, offers a beautiful effect. It's designed, being an adaptogen, to offer really a resilience that we often really need in our day-to-day lives, especially with the challenges that we face every day. And so what makes a true adaptogen like ashwagandha or other different compounds out there are really the ability to help us resist the stressors in a positive and nourishing way that we experience. And so if you're looking to kind of start there or add a touch of an adaptogen to some of our other formulas, many of them already have adaptogens in them. So that's definitely there. But if you're trying to maybe boost something up, because that's a need that you feel, adding ashwagandha can be a really straightforward and useful way to do that. Um, and so, again, what's in the bottle? It's going to be our ashwagandha extract, the glycerin, some water, and as many of the good pieces of the ashwagandha adaptogen that we can squeeze in there for sure. So, lion's mane is coming up, which is also one of my is very, very cool. But before I get too far ahead, sorry, when you're looking to take this as well, our ashwagandha, it's the same kind of routine as turmeric. And with all of our origin extracts, they follow the same general dosing regimen where you can take it by itself, you can take it with one of our other formulas, you can take it with another origin extract, and you can do one dropper full up to 3 times a day. So you can certainly do less, by the way. But the instructions, if you will, apply to all three of these and they're very straightforward, which is kind of nice. So lion's mane, which I'm excited about too, is an amazing, amazing mushroom. And it's known really because of its amazing shape and its distinctive morphology, as well as it seems to be a wealth of compounds for supporting overall brain wellness, helping with supporting cognition, and also acting as just a nourishing factor for our nervous systems that are definitely busy as we move through our day-to-day lives. Um, it's a great mushroom. It's definitely high on my list, and it's full of compounds that really operate in multiple ways. Lion's mane definitely has a supportive effect through various mechanisms for our nervous system. But one of the other benefits that sometimes is overlooked is there are numerous digestive benefits as well. And kind of the key to a well balanced nervous system is having digestion, of course, that is robust and running smoothly, because that's where you get all the raw materials for everything else that your body carries out. And so, lion's mane really can offer a number of useful factors there, and is full of lovely things. But I digress. I can go on for a long, long time. This also, like our other origin extracts, just got the lion's mane extract, just the glycerin, just the water. So you know what you're getting. It's not adulterated in any way or whatnot. We really work so hard to make sure that you are getting as close as we can give you in this format, what you would find in nature. So that's always a high priority for us. Um, so now that I've had a chance to kind of introduce a little bit more with the lion's mane, um, like I said, when you take it, is going to be pretty much a similar type of timing. How can you use these in the context of our other products and our other formulations? And
And
these are just
Matt,
some ideas. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, Matt. Just before you get to the stacking, which I know I'm really excited about, we have some comments if you want to really
Oh,
quickly
I'm
address them.
sorry.
No,
Yes.
you're good. I can read the first one out for you.
Yeah.
Somebody
Thank you.
commented, do you have to give yourself a break for the ashwagandha? Meaning if you take it for a few weeks, you have to leave it a week or so and then resume.
Yes, thank you for letting me know. And so I was on cruise control, so thank you for asking. Um, it's always it's always good to kind of pace yourself with any of these, and especially if your intuition and your inclination is to take a pause and kind of let your body rest. Absolutely. Um, Especially something as strong as these adaptogens, cycling is normal and expected. And matter of fact, it's really useful as well because it can give you a sense of how that herb is working in your system. Because something that you'll see often in East Asian medicine traditions, like my background is in, or just when things heal, is when your body fixes or works or improves something, it just gets better and it doesn't always leave with a fanfare. And you don't necessarily know it's gone until maybe one day, you realize like, oh, this feels better or this is working better. And one way you can test that out is by taking a pause and cycling your herbs a little bit and just saying, what do you notice when they're out of your system? Is there something that comes back or is become present again? So, great question, and I hope I'm answering it. What other questions were there that maybe needed to be addressed, or was that the big one?
Yes, kind of similar to that first question. Someone asked, can ashwagandha be used long term?
Yes, we made sure. So one of the things we look at a lot is this is a great question, is the clinical literature. So when we formulate, we really look at what are the doses and amounts that are used with clinically relevant studies, and we look to try and match those. We also look and see where like the ceiling is in terms of the dosing to make sure that we're staying away from that. That being said, everybody is 100% unique and everybody has responds to things differently at different points in their life. And the reason I say this is I know this is what I always would want is would want my patients to talk to me about what they're taking. And so I would put that back to you and say, please talk to your physician, your trusted provider, because ashwagandha may have a role for you long term, but I feel like that's one of those things that anything that's long term or providing support, talk to your healthcare provider about. It would be something I'd want to make sure that not only is it serving your best interest, but that it's also continuing to do so as you move forward. So always rely on your best expert, which is your doc, whoever that might be. So hopefully that helps a little bit too.
Perfect. Yeah. Those were one more question.
Oh
What
yes,
is the
thanks.
recommended pause time?
Oh, that's a great question. It sort of depends. Default 2 weeks, if I was going to answer it. But again, everybody's different. So listen to your body first and foremost. One of the things that is so wonderful about these types of herbs and the effects that they have is that, they seem to resonate with people. I don't know how else to describe it. When you find the solution that seems to be serving you, you know. And so follow your instincts there. But if you're going to give a true pause, we want to make sure that your body has enough time to basically clear any of the herbal compounds and exist without it, if you will. It's no different than medications in that respect, right? Where sometimes they require a pause, or you'll hear it called a washout period. And so, obviously, this is quite a bit different, but the idea is the same. Your body will clear it out, and that way you have some rest. And 2 weeks is a good rule of thumb, but it is not a hard and fast rule. So, I'm hoping that gives you some support there too.
Amazing. That was all the questions
Great.
we had for now, but everyone please continue to drop them in. We
Yeah.
love questions and we have a Q&A block near the end too, so we can also save them for the end.
That's perfect. Yeah, and this might answer some questions too. And I've got the how to build your own stacks coming up on the screen. I think it's probably been showing the whole time as I've been talking. But please know these are examples, but not limited to these. So, for instance, Minecraft already meant for nourishing cognitive functions and cognitive support. Uh, but you can add an adaptogen to the mix to help just kind of boost that process up and give you even more support for those really challenging, demanding days. The other one's rescue bloat. Ashwagandha is wonderful. And the reason why ashwagandha and rescue bloat got combined here is because when we're talking about stress specifically, it can have a really serious impact on digestive functions. Because as we move into that fight or flight versus the rest or rest, digest, and heal phase, it can definitely have a negative impact. And so, if you already are using rescue bloat for digestive support, but also want to boost up the like kind of the resilience of the combination, ashwagandha could be a good fit there to help you deal with those demanding, more stressful days. Along those lines, there's another way to go about this because some folks feel it in their digestion, others feel it in their sleep. And so, wind down, which is wonderful for help, literally like nourishing you to rest, um, we can add lion's mane to that because it's such a wonderful, man, I love lion's mane. It really does offer such a lovely, nourishing, supportive balance to the nervous system. And oftentimes, that's what we need to help us get to sleep is we've asked so much of our nervous system that we need to kind of give something back to it. Since really it's when we rest that we enter that digestion and healing process. And so providing the right raw materials to support that process can only help. Um, when it comes to women's health, we have a nice combo here because every phase, which is so great, helping to really regulate and meet women wherever they are in their life and with their cycle. Ashwagandha definitely can also help cushion that stress response because it goes without saying that stress makes everything in your body more difficult, more or less. And it certainly doesn't help regulate your period, regulate your menstrual cycle. Quite the opposite. Stress will really send it off the rails a lot of times when the stress is profound. So you have every phase to offer this core support, and then ashwagandha to give you that adaptogen cushion as well. And then, of course, one of our favorites, blueburn. So many people use Blueburn for exercise support and to really help boost up their response to exercise and take it the extra mile and get their metabolism doing wonderful things. Turmeric builds in the recovery support with that, which is so great. So you can combine these two, and they're just like natural allies. So these are just some starting points, but please don't feel like there's anything else that you could mix. I mean, there's literally a million and one different combinations you can put together for these. And so, yeah, as we're kind of moving forward into the Q&A, and I know I'll have a few more questions here, um, you know, just to maybe head off some questions we knew we had ahead of time, and I kind of touched on where can I combine single herbs together? Absolutely. I mean, basically, that's how we build formulas, right? Is we combine singles, and these singles all play, they're friends. So they all play well together. Um, you can definitely take multiple singles at once, and you can either take them like at the same time, like quite literally, or you can space them out and break them up. It's your ritual, and you have the freedom to really work with this and make it work for you in your life, essentially. How long before I feel results is a question that comes up a lot. This is truly the hardest one to answer. And the reason why is, again, everybody's so unique. But really, what I would say is, like once a week, take a step back and be like, what did I notice that's different? Right? Because sometimes, like I said, some of these things will just leave, some of these challenges will be gone, and you're busy. Your attention somewhere else, and your energy will shift. But when you maybe take a second to review, you'll get a sense of what's working and how fast. I mean, oftentimes for people, this can be rapid. Um, Other times, maybe if this is a long-standing challenge, it can take a little time to unwind, and that goes with any type of herbal formulation. If it's a newer, more recent issue, typically that tends to unwind faster than a more chronic, long-standing issue. And so that's why I know sometimes it's an unsatisfying answer, but it truly depends, kind of on what your balance point is. And then the last question, timing. Timing can matter for sure, depending on your goals. And so if you're looking at trying to support overall balance through the day, then you want to kind of keep the herbs flowing through the day, right? So if you're looking at using blue burn with turmeric, they're naturally they fit together throughout the day. But say with like the wind down example, obviously the timing matters there because you don't necessarily want to start the wind down first thing in the morning. It's well suited to the evening. I mean, nothing would stop you. But in that case, maybe you want to really pair like the wind down and the lion's mane in the evening because it's really trying to calm and settle your nervous system versus like Minecraft, which is going to really give it the support to rev up and get through the day. So yeah, and one of the things that came up too was questions. I really do answer questions that come through our to us via like the website, via the like our different channels with like TikTok, Instagram. So please always feel free to reach out because we are definitely here to support whenever we possibly can.